Okay, load a steel plate. A couple of things. I'm a big believer in brake chains, and that is a chain that loops around the front, prevents forward travel. Now, you cannot hook to the side of a trailer with a wide load because it'll pull this pocket right off the trailer. You can use these. You can loop a chain around them or hook to here because that's a rated place for tie down. Or the J plate. And what you'll do is loop a chain through here, go across to the other side, another J plate, tighten it down. That would be good. Chain strap with protectors. You'll also want this board on top because that will elevate your binder off of the flat plate so you can ratchet it down. You're going to want on this, just guessing, 4 going across this piece, and you're going to want a minimum of 1 brake chain. With the brake chain, rather than going side to side, you'll take your J hook, place it against one of the bolts that's a stop, and go from underneath over the top, and on the other side you'll hook it about in here, pulling out. I use 2 on every load of plate, whether it's 10,000 pounds or 60,000 pounds. You can never have too many. And if one fails, you have a second one. You do not want it to start moving because then it doesn't want to stop. So the brake chains or cross chains on the front, very important. Obviously there's little pieces of dunnage and the plate's stacked a little different in the back, but that's just for pulling it out here to show. That's the basic tie down, so who has questions?
One in and one out. You got this one going in and that one coming out.
Oh, you mean around the front?
No, I'm talking about the jig plate. Why you have one?
Oh, well, this one here I showed for the cross chain because the chain will be going that way and then over. But when you're bringing it down to the other side, you can't hook to it that way.
So you're offstepping it? Offstepping it?
Yeah, I use 45s, 45-degree angle. That's what I like. There's no rule about what you have to use. I cross 2 chains up front. And this will pull out, but the other one, since we're not going all the way across, pulls in. You follow what I mean? Yeah. Any questions about that? Any other questions?
The 2 things I want to point out, if we start making our way backwards, is one thing, with steel plate, this is obviously oversized, but even if it's legal, if it's off-centered, such as these 2 plates are, you'll create an oversized load even though it's a legal load. That plate might be 8 foot wide, but if we overlap them like this, you'll be oversized. So you might not even think of it. If you're over the rails, you'll get a ticket. And there's one other thing I want to point out in the back and then open it up one last time. All the way back here.
Debris.
Yeah. So if you guys look at this trailer from the back, what is the first thing there, the thing that kind of points out in your mind? It's really in Kevin's probably nightmare. What's the one thing you guys see here? Gravel. So anytime you guys have gravel, and this is here for an example, any debris, if this goes down the road and hits a windshield, it's your fault.
And having a caution stay 200 feet back does not exempt you from liability.
Any debris on your truck or your trailer that comes off is your fault. We're coming into snow season. Snow that comes off a trailer, your truck, is your fault. You will get in trouble for it. That's just how it is. That's the rules. And snow is heavy, and snow can do damage. A lot of times underneath of it's ice, and you'll see chunks of it flying up off the road on the highway. You see it all the time. So as we come into the winter, in the summer, obviously make sure gravel's off, dirt's off, any debris, and make sure snow is off your trailer. And one last example we've got here is these nails. And as we put the wood chocks on our trailers, as there's nails in the trailers, you'll see they will break, they will rust. Same thing. Anything that comes off the truck and trailer that we are driving, even if it's something we didn't put on there, ends up being our responsibility, and it turns into a nightmare. These rocks could break a windshield, or several of them, and cost thousands of dollars.
Why is the nails?
Huh?
The nails sticking up. Are they supposed to be down?
Because for an example, when we bolted something, we pulled it off and we didn't take the nails out. Thing to do is take all the nails out with a crowbar. Some of them are bent over. Best thing to do is take them off, yeah. See, they'll pull these right up and leave the nails. So if something was nailed in, guys will just lift them up. There can be loose nails on the trailer then, or half of them up, half of them down. Again, causes a problem. Or they fall off in our yard and you guys run over them in your pickup truck and Richard's got a flat tire. So I mean, this stuff really does happen. It's little things, but you got to keep it in mind. So.
Hey, Zach, are you saying if we get a nail in our tire on the lot that you're going to pay for a tire?
No, it's your fault. Any questions? Any questions for Niels? Any questions for Tim from the safety side on the equipment? See him? Anything at all?
I'll play the devil's advocate.
Okay.
Is there such thing as too many straps?
No.
No? Really? I heard that it weakens the
Anytime you're loading something that's heavier than the truck and trailer, you're tying yourself to it. So I don't think there's such a thing as too many.
Slow down and it turns.
And there's also times where, say somebody put 2 more straps on this vape, it weighs nothing, 1,000 pounds maybe. Those 2 straps might be legal, these 2 aren't. So you're still in compliance. You know, you can never have too many, and I try to have at least 1 more than I'm supposed to. If it's something like this, I always have 2 brake chains on it.